Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Harakakadash, double to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well, and Shalom to the brothers in wax sharing truth. Yeah, so it's looking like Lebanon, the ground invasion is underway. And you had like last week the initial kind of wave was with blowing up the page. Damn. Blowing up the pages, then the walkie-talkies, and then afterwards doing like missile strikes, which hit like a lot of generals, a lot of like the leadership on of what are they called, Hezbollah, and you had Bibi say, I think it was a UN assembly. Actually, or maybe it wasn't the UN assembly, maybe it was after, where he said, you know, the boots on the ground invasion is going to happen. And now that seems to be underway. So more of those wars, rumors of wars stirring. And again, kind of keeping that focus on you know, the state of Israel, which is that focal point of what is going to draw in World War III. What does it say? It says on Jerusalem Post. It says IDF tanks attacking villages in southern Lebanon. Arabic media. It says IDF tells Beirut suburb residents to evacuate. Calls not to repeat unconfirmed reports of Israel attack locations. IDF tells Beirut not to repeat. Okay, so IDF soldiers entered southern Lebanon as part of a ground assault on Monday night as a conflict with Hezbollah continues to escalate, AFP reported. Shortly thereafter, Arabic media such as Al Jazeera and MTV Lebanon claimed that IDF tanks had entered multiple villages in southern Lebanon. This is what they have informed us, that they are currently conducting, which are limited operations targeting Hezbollah infrastructure near the border. U.S. State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller said to the press on Monday, according to the AFP. The IDF has yet to announce or confirm any such ground invasion. The first IDF ground invasion in Lebanon since the Second Lebanon War in 2006 has been launched. So that's almost 20 years, which is fucking crazy. But with, you know, how times have been, it's not really a surprise. And with like Bibi's position is more or less dependent on the fact that there is a conflict, where it's now kind of like with what's going on in Palestine is wrapping up. With what's going on in Palestine wrapping up, starting another conflict isn't, you know, really surprising. Says, however, the IDF spokesperson in Arabic, Avice Adrei, warned residents of Beirut suburbs to evacuate on Monday night. Shortly after, IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagari asked the media not to share reports about the forces' activities due to the security of our forces. Stick to the official reports only and do not spread irresponsible rumors. So yeah, you know, they're doing moves. And then with, you know, these moves, it's what you call it. It's about, you know, the American term I believe is shock and awe. You know, coming in with force as a surprise to take people off guard. Because as I say, the IDF and the Lebanese army started making moves around 9 p.m. according to the regarding the imminent Israeli invasion of Lebanon. The IDF at 8:39 p.m. took additional last-minute concrete measures leading towards an invasion. declaring closed military zones at Metula, Misgav, and Kfar Galadi. So yeah, it's it's kicking off. And that's the thing is with people have been trying to work for however long, like the last few weeks to a month plus, saying like, oh, we need peace, we need people to be able to get in there and bring in supplies. We need to save lives. There's people out there that are starving, ain't got no water, ain't got no whatever. Dealing with Palestine. The peace don't exist, and it's with what Netanyahu's been saying is more or less that that needs to eliminate all resistance members, all people resisting against them, which the end result of that is a particular kind of approach which people ain't really a fan of, but it's playing out. It's something that it's being seen playing out, and then that's why it's like this invasion continuing ain't a surprise. But with these conflicts, the end result of it is a greater conflict with everyone else getting drawn in. Because the thing that the main kind of issue that will draw people in is their interests. And then with the biggest backer that's opposition to the Western world is gonna be Russia. And then their interests, are tied in with Syria and Iran. And that's really the end goal of what the state Israel's trying to do, is contend against Iran, which I think they might say something on it. But I don't know if it was in this one, because I think this is more just on nah, because there was an Iranian general that got hit as well by some of the airstrikes a few days back. And then, they were talking about coming against him because, as far as how, state Israel's looking at all these different groups are basically just extensions of Iran. And then the reality of how, is looking at, of how the West looking at it, it's just like, it's basically an extension of Russian influence. And, they've had their desires, and Russia's kind of been the guard onto them. So, you poke the bear long enough, and then it will come to, to contend. And that's where it's gonna go. That's where it's gonna have to arrive at. Where it's gonna have to arrive at. I read this, 2 Peter 3 and 10, it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. And I kind of see, this little ground invasion as just a small echo of it. Because you have this military conflict where it's really been built up to. Because from when they did the pages and whatnot, that was essentially an act of war. And then what happened afterwards, the walkie-talkies and whatnot, then missile strikes, and that's basically to wear down the leadership structure, infrastructure, communications, information being passed around, and then you come with enough force to kind of blow through them in a short time. Where it's what was it in World War II, the Blitzkrieg. That's what Germany was using, the Blitzkrieg, when they would just come in with them quick tanks, blow shit to hell, and then conquer. And that was, people that, France adapted to that so poorly. That's the whole fucking country. But that, with how it's gonna go down with these prophecies in the end times, is gonna come like a thief. And the main way it's gonna be a thief to people in the world is the lack of awareness. They're not circumspect. They're not got their eyes open. They're not observing to see, like, okay, what's getting down, what's going down. It's these things are coming as a surprise, as a shock, because they're not paying attention. You kind of mentioned these things obviously, off in Lebanon. Who even knows where the fuck Lebanon is on a map? But people don't, they're unaware of these things. But then once until it hits impacts their life in some way, it's it's not a real thing. Or it's like Ukraine, where they're like, yeah, but it's white people though. And the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned. And yeah, that fire is gonna come swift. And with the destruction of America, it's gonna be like an hour. Like 1 hour, it's all gonna go down. It's gonna be insane. Which is why it's there's so much that needs to happen beforehand. And it's like we know World War III ain't just gonna be kicking off, because why there's hour of temptation, time of Jacob's trouble. There are things that need to come to pass. The MOTB, the micro C hip. That's the main thing. That's the key thing. But yeah, Jeremiah 49:20, it says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that you've taken against Edom, and his purposes that you've purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. Yeah. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing like and that's the thing is World War One, World War Two, you had those alliances, the chains, like links between all these different nations that basically made it where it was, one whole body of allies versus another body of allies. And then, two of them go to war, then everyone, slowly gets drawn in over time. And we're seeing those conflicts being escalated, and it's getting weighty. But again, it's being held back because it needs to arrive in its time, and there are things that must needs come to pass. Isaiah 13:2, it says, what, lift you up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, that they may go into the gates of the nobles. I've commanded my sanctified ones, I've also called my mighty ones for mine anger, even them that rejoice in my highness. The noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as of a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms of nations gathered together. The Lord Yahweh of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even the Lord Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation, to destroy the whole land. And yeah, that's them, them missiles getting ready to put an end to what? To that gathering of the nations, which is that third world war, man. All these different nations are going to be incited and gathered. You're going to have that period of time where these different nations like NATO and the EU, all those that are connected with the whore, they're going to work with her. But there's that point in time when, the spirit's going to be put on them to be like, you know what? Why are we even dealing with this whore? And then they're going to flip and then, they're going to hate the whore and burn her with fire. And these, as all these things come into pass, it's certified, it's guaranteed. And then what all these different nations are going to be drawn into this conflict to where it's everywhere is going to be fucked. The dead will be as dung, man. Like now you can be walking around, a dog will shit somewhere, some rat might shit somewhere, fucking rabbit will shit somewhere. You wouldn't even be able to it'll be an innumerable amount of shit just walking around, for like 20 minutes somewhere. But then on with dead bodies, when the amount of death and destruction needs to go down for that to happen is insane. And that's really what it's going to be. That's the thing is with this Lebanon situation, it's like people saw the video of the page, like, oh shit, and then you hear about the airstrike, oh shit, like that's fucked. That's all kinds of fucked up. But then it's not become a reality. And then when as all these different nations, when those drafts come in, people are like, okay, you're being drafted, you're getting pulled against your will, threat of being thrown in jail, being detained, whatever, to go and fight in a war. Then it's gonna get real for people. It says, "How ye," verse 6, "How ye, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is at hand, and it shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid, pangs and sorrows shall take hold of them. They shall be in pain as when how did I lose it? They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed one at another. Their faces shall be as flames." And yeah, it's gonna be hell. It's gonna be all kinds of hell. Because why? It's people. It's the last thing they're thinking of. Even as they live lives where it's like judgment could be brought against them for innumerable things they do throughout the day. They've crafted a world in which that's normal. That's no, it's not even acceptable. A lot of things that people do are praised, despite it being to their own destruction. Madness. But yeah, that's why everyone's gonna it's gonna be terrible. It's gonna be horrific. Like people experiencing those terrors now. Like look, if you're chilling, you might just put little little Abdi to sleep. His big head is on his bed, and then a tank just comes through the whole Ross Clark house. All kinds of hell. Those pages had Utes getting fucking blown up by that shit. It was fucking insane. But that's war. That's how Yahweh desires for this this time to go down. It's gonna go through violence, through war, death and destruction. So you're used to it, man. Shalom. Shalom, Yahweh Shemir Shabbat Shemukakta.